Hai sahabat Omah Mojo, kita jumpa lagi saat ini dengan tamu kita yang sudah pernah kita interview, Azizah Assattari.
Terima kasih Pak Kris.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Nah, apa kabar Azizah?
Alhamdulillah baik Pak, gimana Pak kabarnya?
Ya baik, kelihatannya saya mau jalan-jalan nih ke Bandung atau Surabaya.
Iya nih, rencana jalan-jalannya udah banyak nih Pak, mentang-mentang nggak pandemi lagi ya?
Yes, exactly. Jadi ini kelihatannya situasi udah kembali ke normal ya.
Betul.
Tapi tetap kita harus jaga protokol supaya kita tetap bisa memaintain kesehatan kita ya.
Betul.
Benar nggak?
Setuju Pak.
Nah teman-teman, ini Mbak Azizah ini tempo hari kan saya interview ya, berkaitan dengan metaverse. Nah saat ini Mbak Azizah akan cerita kelanjutan dari seperti yang sudah saya janjikan yang lalu, yaitu mengenai Semesta Art. Semesta Art, so I think in order to let the audience know about the metaverse, especially Semesta Art, maybe you may explain about your future plan and also intention in regard to your initiative in this area, Azizah. So maybe I would like to ask you in English because some of the audience may have to learn from you in English as well, including your partner in
I guess.
overseas, right?
Yeah, right.
So please
So
explain about your plan in the future.
So actually, last time we've been talking about the metaverse itself. What is the understanding about it? Because there's a lot of misunderstanding about what is happening in the digital world today. Like some people describe the metaverse as the VR. Some people describe the metaverse as the money
AI.
gaming, even robot trading, and then the binomo kind of things, which is it's not the only one part of it. It could be, but it could be not too, because there's a lot of content that could be contained in what we call today by the blockchain, or what we know by the Web3. So yeah, there's a lot of as we know, the up and down, the rising, the trending, the bubble market and everything. Yeah, maybe Pak Kris can also explain what is also happening when the new technology arises, right? Like in the Web 1, when the first time the .com rising.
Yes, that was like .com booming era.
Yeah.
And eventually end on the booming of bubble economy.
Yeah.
So maybe this kind of what do you call it? This kind of phenomena may happen also in this metaverse era as well, right? So maybe the audience may have to learn about the nitty-gritty of these new things, and you may explain to the audience.
Yeah, because that's because that's also the most important things that we cannot not facing it. How to say it? We cannot say that we are not going into it. It will happen. Whatever happens, it will happen anyway. It will happen anyway. The technology of the Web3, the decentralized system, it's different than the previous generation, that everything has to be centralized, everything has to have server and everything like that. That makes us cannot have our own governments, and we cannot own our own assets in the digital, because it must be owned by someone. But this decentralized system, it's in everywhere. So it means like with this new technology, what you own in the internet is you and yours only. And you can put it into anywhere. That's the real meaning of the metaverse itself. And it doesn't always have to be something with the value of trading. It could be anything. You want to put a picture, you want to put the data, memory of something or anything, from the one that begin with the center or the server. In the decentralized system, everybody has the right to control it, including you yourself. So it's like previously maybe the company of the technology becoming the porting, not only the porting, they have to be the place that you're going to put everything, the server. But in this new technology, they are only the gate. The data
Only
is
the
totally,
gate.
yeah,
Okay.
the data is totally yours. They are only the methods how you want to print this file and put it into the sky, something like that. And yeah, there's a lot of benefits inside it, despite of the Ponzi that happening and how people misuse it. It's still very beneficial technology, especially for the creators, and that's why it's very important. And that's what I want to show in the Semesta Art projects.
Okay.
And yeah,
And you try to re-understand the concept of the Semesta, because of right now there are a lot of, what do you call it, Ponzi's and
Yeah.
negative things, negative perception about
yes, I'm not
this
even going to
technology.
chase it.
But
Yeah, it's still generative arts. It's still
Yeah.
the digital arts creation. It still have its own beauty. But I'm not going to change it just because some people are blaming for something that's not in it. They're not
Okay.
even intended to create it.
yeah,
But the thing is with the Semesta Arts, so I would like to tell a little bit about it. The Semesta Art is a project of meta gallery that
gallery.
inside it we can show off and showcase our early ideas about how the intellectual property we can recreate it and represent it in the form of digital art. It could be the like process of ideation. For ideation, for example, when you create an idea and you create the combination of the idea, imagine that this technology, which is you should not demonize it, it could help you. It could
Yeah.
help you. You can generate thousands of variation. You can generate hundreds of variation, and it helps you actually. It cut the cost and everything, and you can reserve it. It will be eternal in the decentralized system. So what happened is, when it become eternal in the centralized system, as long as people are still using this technology, for example, people still using the internet, the
Yeah.
assets still there.
Yeah.
So it will make the things like a physical item and the digital item have the same value because both of them are eternal. Until one is maybe in the digital asset, it could be not used anymore, or in the physical asset, it could be ruined or it's getting broken, something like that.
So Semesta Art in this case is like a bridge between the real world and digital world.
Yeah.
And then if there's something happen in digital world, then we may still keep
Yeah.
physical world,
Yeah.
because physical world also has a value in this
Yeah,
case.
right. So for example, that if we create something like maybe toys, for example,
Yes.
many people can just create the fake toys, right? But with
Fake toys,
yeah, the fake toys. But with the function in the blockchain, you can also put the digital certification in it, and when someone scan it, people directly know, oh, this is belong to this company, and this
Okay.
is the real things.
Yeah.
So when you pass it away to someone, and that or it just lost, for example, like that, you still own the certificate, and every time it was scanned in somewhere, so
Yes.
someone is illegally owned it.
So certificate in this case means the legal,
Yes.
what do you call it, guarantee of,
It could be guaranteed, it could be legally who owns it,
yeah,
something like
that's what does mean with IP content, intellectual
intellectual property
property
also works that way.
content. Okay, so I heard about NFT art.
Yeah.
Please explain to the audience about it, NFT art. What is this, and also what the purpose of it in terms of value and things like that?
So actually NFT art means the non-fungible
Yes, non-fungible
Token.
Yes,
art.
yes.
So what it means by the non-fungible token art is only one and only.
Only one and only.
Yeah, only one and only. So the
And
moment you release it into there, it has no copy, it has no order, so it could be works as the art itself, or it could be works as the certification as well.
And it's only owned by somebody.
Yes, it was owned by someone. So for
Somewhere.
example, many start to using right now, for example in Instagram, you can, if you own a digital asset of NFT art, you can show it into your Instagram and then telling people, hey, I'm having this
Yep.
art. The usual things is like, if you have an art that you upload directly into the Instagram, someone can copy it and someone can claim it was hers. But when you post it with as a digital art, this person, if they want it, you can transfer it to her.
Okay.
And then the picture will gone from your place and move into their place legally. And then they can show off it too. So it could be also work as the community management, community tools for engage and everything. And we could use it as a gift as well. Because who doesn't love a beautiful art, right? That's also one example of the works.
Many people likes it.
Yeah, for another example, like you are a freak toys lover, for example.
Yes.
You have a very highly precious statue of art or something, but you can only show it at home, right? Not everyone goes to your home.
But in this case, we can show it to public,
you can
to
show
anybody,
to anyone that, hey, I'm telling you what, my daddy have BMW, you know. Oh, you're lying. No, see, this is certificate in my daddy's Instagram. See, this is real BMW. You cannot steal it. See? That kind of thing. You can also show off your assets, something that you're proud of. And that's also the function. And there will be a lot more function that we cannot imagine today. That will be like rising again and again in the future. So yeah, it's something that we cannot avoid, to be honest. But we will start to clean the market. We will start to clean the ecosystem, and this ecosystem will start to reveal its true function. Just the way the Web 1, like who today is not using internet, right? No one.
Anyway, everybody already.
Everybody already have website with at least, right? And social media, Web 2. Who doesn't use social media? Nobody. And now the Web 3. One day, who doesn't want a digital assets? And showcase it, this is mine and only mine. That's one thing that will be appears in the future technology.
So the future of web technology will be Web 3 in this case, yeah?
Yeah.
And we may call Web 3 as like 3 dimension of web, something like that? Or maybe you can explain in other words in this case?
So I could say it's like the centralized system that multiple people own it. Not only one ownership, but multiple ownership.
People own it.
Yeah, so it's like one entity will be described by multiple attribution. For example, this is Johannes Criswanto.
Yes.
In one entitled by Indosat, he is an SVP, and one another entitling he is a mentor of Lentera Nusantara, and the other one is entitling he's the legend.
Oh,
right. So this Johannes Criswanto.
That's too flattering me.
No. What I mean is like this Johannes Criswanto have many attribution that it's not him the one who owned this attribution, but this entity. No, not me. This entity, right?
Right.
Because nobody, you cannot give your own self entitle of SCP in Indosat, right? You cannot give yourself entitle as my mentor if I don't allow it, right?
Yes.
Because I allow it, and I would like to entitle as a legend. It's my right, not yours, of course. So yeah, that's also one thing.
So the audience of Mojo, that's just an example.
Yeah. What he can own is only the entitle that he wants to own. For example, Mojo, he want to entitle it for himself. Yeah, sure, go ahead. But something else, and with someone want to give that attribution to him, yeah, that's what we call by the centralized system. So one entity could be described by many and could have more and more value by many attribution.
Yeah, I think that's the concept of NFT art, yeah. So the distribution of the intellectual property,
yeah,
but centralized or originated by one IP only, which is owned by me, for instance.
Yeah,
something like that, yeah. But the IP can be distributed and also can be owned by anybody.
Yeah,
and that anybody can also improve or maybe
the value of that entity.
Yeah, the value of that entity.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next question is about, I think this is still a phenomena of how the technology goes into art world, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe you also have a, I think you also have a plan about this trend or this, what do you call it, phenomena in the future. And I heard about things like, what do you call it, Jagadnata, and also Yeah, I heard about that from.
So actually, Semesta Art is the gallery, right?
Yes.
But for the first release, as always, as the creator, we tend to create and show it as the example rather than to talk.
Yes.
So this, my IP in here, I would call it Sapta Semesta Jagadnata.
Sapta Semesta Jagadnata.
Yeah,
So
Sapta.
mainly there are seven, yeah?
Seven liberal arts
Liberal arts,
in the medieval, but adapted into our local heritage in Nusantara, it became Sapta Semesta Jagadnata. It means the seven art of universe creator.
How can you define that the creation of the Semesta based on that seven things or seven, what do you call it?
Wisdom.
Seven. Wisdom, something like that?
Yeah, divine wisdom.
So maybe you can explain to the audience about that.
So actually, just like many ancient religion beliefs or
Yes.
mythology, they always believe that the greatest creator, which is God, has seven wisdom, seven knowledge. And in many culture, it always represented by the visualization of a goddess, because Sophia or Sophos,
Yes.
it always representative of the god feminine side,
Okay.
and the logos, the logia,
Yes.
is like it's like the ghost masculine side.
Masculine.
So the
Yeah.
wisdom itself, representative the wisdom and representative of the logic. The logic is a man, the wisdom is the woman. That's why in the
Something like left brain and right brain.
yes, something
Left
like
brain represent logic,
that. Yeah,
and right
Right.
brain represent, what do you call it?
but it's not
Creativity.
always working like that actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because in both both are collaborating each others.
Yes.
Because even the wisdom itself is more into wisdom. So like logical and wisdom. So when you count 1 plus 1 is 2.
Yes.
But with wisdom,
Not necessarily like that.
not necessarily like that.
Okay.
1 plus 1 depends.
Depends.
Yeah, that's
Depend
wisdom,
on
right?
depend on the wisdom.
Really depends on the wisdom. That's the thing.
yeah.
Because when things are, here's the logic.
Yes.
Logically, this universe cannot happen.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
With this, all of the what they call it, the
Yeah,
Big Bang and everything, and
Yes.
the scientists already calculated, if not because of a wisdom
In this
or
case,
the
wisdom
probability of 0.00000 something or something great decided to happen, this universe won't happen.
may we call it as the wisdom of God or something
Yes,
like that?
that's why it was called wisdom of God. The
Okay.
wisdom of God is like wisdom of mother. Imagine like when father said, da, 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 da.
Okay.
Wisdom of mother said, yeah, let it be.
Yeah.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
Yeah, and then that's what God say. The decision not only by the logical part, but also
But
with the
also
wisdom.
Wisdom and love, I think.
Yeah, so yeah,
Because
that's
we
also the
create-
representative of it.
Because the universe is created by love.
Yeah.
By the love of God.
Yeah.
Wisdom of God. Something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right?
And that's why also in the Sapta Semesta Jagadnata, Jagadnata means the creator of the universe. And then Semesta means the universe itself.
yes.
And then the Sapta means seven. So seven knowledge for creating a universe. So what?
Can you mention one by one what that seven knowledge?
Dang, I need to open.
Okay, it's alright. I think
Later,
I heard-
next session, it will be super
Okay.
long.
I heard that's one of them is geometry, something like that.
Yeah, it's
Or
like
arithmetic.
yeah.
something like that.
It's like something that in every universal creation always there. For example, musica.
Music, yeah.
Musica is like a language of the universe. There's
Yeah.
no creation in this world not having a musical instrument. For example, even fish can have its own dialogue with the music. Even the nature, the plant can have dialogue with musical, and even the birds have it, not only human. So it's
Okay.
like a universal language of the universe itself. And yeah, so actually God create the world with the seven wisdom. It's like grammatica, arithmetica, musica, astronomia,
Astronomia, yeah,
and
yeah.
then like what else?
Things like that.
Yeah, something like
Maybe
that.
maybe later on we may.
It will be long. Woo.
Yeah. Maybe
It's
later
in
on
one
the
session.
audience can what do you call it? Maybe Azizah will explain later on about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
but
the
the things is like Sapta Semesta Jagadnata is to show how we create universe
Yes.
in Lentera, which is because that is the core of Lentera. We create IP means we create universe. We craft the world. We create.
We craft the word. We
Yeah.
create the word.
Yeah.
We create the idea and,
Yeah,
and transfer it into what do you call it? Things.
into the
yeah.
creation
The
itself.
creation itself.
Yeah, and what I believe is like we have that creation inside our mind is like from God, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like a responsibility because intellectual property itself, we can call it the property of God.
Mhm.
It has no form, it has no physical, but it affects everything. It creates the physical world around
Yeah.
us. Like for example, if you really likes the idea, someone begin with the ideas how to create a robot of a cat, and it can travel through time, and he call it Doraemon just because he love to eat dorayaki. It's a Japanese food, right?
Doraemon.
And
would
then
like to eat
suddenly,
teriyaki.
yeah,
Oh.
suddenly the next 20 years,
I just
there will
heard-
be a city, even a city in Japan
Oh,
full of
okay.
Doraemon.
I just
From
heard about
zero.
that.
Yeah, that's the
Just-
thing.
Okay.
That's the power.
That's one of the
intellectual
example of the things that created by what do you call it? IP content creator. Yeah.
Yeah, there's also so this art actually is like a personification,
Personification
of how a IP creator create a process that this IP itself, the inspiration is
Yeah.
like how God create universe.
So basically, we as a human is just given what do you call it? Karunia, talent or purpose from God that we
The gift.
may also create things
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we based on our ideas. Yeah.
yeah. So the moment we have that inspiration in our brain, it has to be our responsibility to make it happen.
To make it
Why?
happen. Yeah.
Because if that inspiration is doing by someone else who is not directly have it in his mind or her mind, it could be made not into what God wanted to be happen.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's also the things.
Yeah.
That's why it becomes our responsibility. We decided whether it's being good or bad, and it's also define us as a creator. Are we creating good things with
Or
God or bad
Bad
things
things. Yeah.
with this? Or
It depends on
humanity?
us. The
Yeah.
choice is on us.
The
Yeah.
choice is on us.
Okay. Last things. I heard about things like blockchain,
Yeah.
and I assume that this blockchain is also relates to things that you just explained before. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Art,
this
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Can you elaborate more about
Why?
this? Yes.
Yeah. So actually why I create this as the example on how art should be transformed into the blockchain, how we put it into the blockchain,
Yes.
into the decentralized system. That's also, it have two parts. It have the logical part and it have the philosophical parts.
Yeah.
So the logical part is like because this thing have to be eternal. The creation have to be eternal. If we just put it into a centralized server, for example, I'm putting into a server Facebook, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe one day Facebook, just like Friendster, is gonna be down and I will be releasing new platform. So the
Yes.
art that I already have,
Still remain there.
yeah, still there and it's gone. That's it. But when the decentralized system come, the art will be eternal. The moment that
The art will be eternal. Yeah.
yeah, so this
Not just what do you call it? Apa? Terbatas.
Yes.
It's not just in the what do you call it?
One platform.
One platform, but
yeah.
many platforms because
Yeah,
of
that's why the
distribution.
moment
because
that
of distributed.
yes, that's why that moment when Facebook, for example, or Instagram, for example, they became just a window, a gate to show
yeah.
to show it in there. But one day, if this one down, the asset in there, you can just show it directly into another place, even when it's still there.
So
and
the
you go into
asset
another one,
remains in
the centralized server.
decentralized.
Yeah, and it will remain yours forever.
Yeah.
That's the thing, that's the concept. But philosophically, I believe into the concept of in Indonesia we call it angkasa, in the mythology we call it akasa, and this future technology we have the words for it, clouds.
Okay, so that cloud
Yeah.
means
Yeah, I believe into something, the knowledge that in the ancient knowledge, what people believe that, especially the scientists, the philosopher, they believe that this knowledge are written in the akasha or is written in angkasa.
And
maybe that's the things happened in the
means
past.
cloud.
Yeah, it could
Angkasa
be.
is
What happened in the
clouds.
future is the Web3 decentralized
Yeah.
cloud, right? So yeah, this art has two meaning, like in the from logical part and the philosophical part as well.
So the audience, I think the word of technology is already shifted from centralized to decentralized, and Azizah just mentioned that in order to remain our property access, then we have to make it decentralized, or
We start to
distributed,
shift
right?
into the decentralized
Yes.
system.
That's what does mean with relationship between blockchain and art.
And the Semesta Art.
Semesta Art. Okay. Anything else that you may tell to the audience about our topic today?
Yeah, well, I would like to say that you should not demonize a new technology arises, but
Yes.
we need to keep looking for it, keep the potential, and keep the potential of the new technology rising, and keep the ecosystem clean. Because what I believe is, each time new technology arises, it always have what we call it the leak, right?
Yes.
Always have the leak, always have the potential to be Ponzi and everything, and it shouldn't make us afraid of it. We have to face it. It's a phase that we have to see,
Yeah.
and we have to go through it. But if we avoid it, we are not moving.
Okay.
So this is the moment, especially what I caught by Indonesia creator, especially we have so much potential in here. Could be the moment that we rise, and yeah, I think we have so much potential in the blockchain.
Now it's time to to utilize, or to to create things that relates to our
Cultural content.
cultural
Yes.
contents of Indonesia. Because the cultural content of Indonesia is unlimited, yeah.
Yeah, we could say that Indonesia has so much intangible
And
assets.
yes, and do not be pessimistic with the news or the things that like Ponzi's, or like yang merusak image tuh, yang destroy the image.
Destroy the image of its misuse of the new technology, right?
Yeah. Do not be pessimistic on that.
Yeah.
Let us be optimistic in the creation of art in regard to the possibilities, the unlimited possibilities of people of Indonesia in creation the art. Yeah.
Yes.
Within the boundary of Semesta Art. Alright, the audience, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Azizah,
much for giving me the opportunity.
explanation of Semesta Art. Terima kasih teman-teman di rumah atas kesempatannya untuk mendengarkan penjelasan dari Azizah yang tahap kedua ini, setelah beliaunya menjelaskan yang mengenai Gost Parade yang lalu, ya. Nah, ini tadi sengaja pakai bahasa Inggris supaya bisa didengarkan juga oleh para partnernya Azizah ini di luar negeri, karena Azizah ini mau bekerja sama dengan mereka untuk mengembangkan sesuatu yang tentunya pastinya akan berguna bagi kita semua.
Ya, kita
Baik.
harapannya bisa membawa lokal konten Indonesia mendunia lah. Jadi nggak cuma Gost Parade, but
Nggak
more
cuma
will
Gost
come.
Parade, tapi lebih dari sekedar
Yes.
Gost Parade. Baik teman-teman semua, demikian sesi kita pada hari ini. Sampai kita berjumpa lagi di lain kesempatan, dan terima kasih untuk Azizah.
Terima kasih banyak Pak
Mungkin
Kris
nanti kita
kesempatannya.
akan take lagi topik yang berikutnya tetap berkaitan dengan Semesta Art ini, ya, atau metaverse, atau yang berhubungan dengan hal inilah.
Siap.
Yang
The new
notabene
technology
adalah core kompetensnya Azizah nih dalam hal
Waduh.
ini. Alright, teman-teman semua di rumah, terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Sampai jumpa di lain kesempatan. Bye.